is Irina Blount from La La Land Crafts. Today is day 2 of our Advent Calendar Christmas tutorials of 2021. Yesterday we made this golden white card. If you missed that tutorial, you can find the link in the video description below. We are doing 24 tutorials in this series, and we're giving away 3 $50 gift certificate to our online store, to lalalandcrafts.com. All you need to do to enter into the giveaway is to subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment on the 12 tutorials on our YouTube channel, and then on the 12 tutorials on our blog. And we're going to announce the winners on December 25th on our blog, and the winners will be picked at random from all of the comments. Today we're going to make this cute snow globe shaker card, and we're going to use some of our most recent newest products for this. The links to all of the products will be in the video description below, and as well as the measurements for all of the layers for the card. Let's go ahead and start. I have some of the layers die cut already. I have some of the card layers cut. I have my little hedgehogs colored. And then we're going to do some of the die cutting and cutting during the tutorial. So for my card base, I have my white cardstock cut at 5.5 by 11, and I scored it in half at 5.5. I have a layer of gold cardstock, 5.25 by 5.25. I have a layer from the designer paper, and I'll show you in a second. It's from this paper pack, and it's also 5.25 by 5.25. Then I have 2 layers of white cardstock, 5 by 5. The paper I'm using is from Merry and Bright paper pack, and I just love this. This is definitely Merry and Bright. I'm using the snowflakes paper, one of the papers from this paper pack. It has this amazing texture on the back of it. As you can see, so many designs to mix and match. And you can choose different paper if you prefer. I was playing with this one, and it looks really festive, but I just decided to go with the soft tones of the soft blue for this card here. Then for the image we're using, we're going to use one of the hedgehogs. We're going to use this one from the newer release stamp set called Holiday Smiles, and it comes with a lot of sentiments to mix and match. I already die cut a few things. From the snow globe die, we're not going to use the snow globe itself, but we're going to use the base. And I die cut it once from chipboard, and then from gold cardstock and from white cardstock. And we're going to use both of the designs of this Christmas tree, and I die cut 2 times from gold cardstock and 2 times from white cardstock. So this is the only die cutting that I've done. The rest we'll do together. We're going to use the snowflake edge die. It comes as a set of 2 like this. It's attached by the wires, and you can keep it together and cut it together for some other designs. But for this purpose, I felt like I just needed the edge on its own. And the way we designed it is that you can die cut the other layer and have the snowflakes coming from under it. So we might use this different way on some other cards in this event. But for today, we're only using the one with the snowflakes. And we're going to grab one of our smaller white layers. This is the 5 by 5. We're going to align it to the bottom, about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and run it through my die cutting machine just like this. Once you die cut it, you're going to have 2 layers like that. We're going to use this layer on the front of the card, and we'll save this one. I think we might be able to use it on the inside. now on the same layer, I'm going to use double stitch domes die, and this is the larger die in the set. Set comes with 3 different sizes shapes. We're going to position it, center it about 1/2 inch from the bottom and center it right and left, and die cut this. So we basically created a window. Now we're going to create a gold frame to go around it. I'm going to die cut, grab a piece of the gold cardstock and die cut my scalloped dome first. And this is also the largest die in the scalloped domes set. Now I'm going to grab my double stitch dome again and put it down, center it, and go ahead and die cut it again. And now we have this pretty frame to go on the window. And now we have 2 of these shapes that we cut out. You can either use them on the inside or you can use them on some other project. Since we're making a shaker card, we'll need some foam to create the space for our sequins. I'm going to use the 3mm foam sheet, and I'm going to cut it about to the size to hide behind this layer. So I'm going to cut it 4 3/4 by, I think I'm going to cut it by 3 1/2. So 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And I'm going to grab my double stitch dome again and cut out the window here. And you can see it comes through the foam easily. And we have our shaker spacer there. From the back of my shape and my layer, I'm going to go ahead and glue this. Just double check first that I don't have any of the foam picking out, and if you need to at this point you can trim it down. So see first how it fits. When you die cut foam, sometimes it smooshes a little bit, so it becomes a little bit wider, but I think I'm pretty safe here. Before I glue it down, I almost forgot, we need to put our acetate to cover this space, the window, and this is from the back of the layer. My acetate measures 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. I'm going to add a little bit of the liquid glue all the way around my dome shape, and then try to put it straight down without moving, because we don't want the glue to be showing inside of our shaker. And now we can go ahead and close this with our foam. Make sure it's not showing through the window. Looks good. Now this layer is finished. Now we just need to add our gold frame. Look how beautiful that looks. So pretty. And this is the same gold cardstock that we used on the card yesterday. So this is not metallic, it just has this brushed linen effect, but it's just so pretty, especially for Christmas cards. I love it. I also use this cardstock a lot for wedding cards as well. Isn't it perfect? Isn't it so pretty? So now let's go ahead and glue this paper onto the main layer. And this paper design doesn't have direction, and it's a square, so we don't need to worry about it. But what I wanted to show you is how beautiful this window with the snowflakes look like on this. You could also use a different paper on the center, on the inside of your shaker. If you decide to do so, just cut the layer and put it behind, and it looks pretty. But I really just kind of like this white and blue with the hint of gold for this card, but you can mix and match. This looks actually really pretty too. So there's so many papers in this paper pack that you can use to do different designs. Next, we're going to be making a sentiment, and we're going to be using these parts from the snow globe die. So the snow globe base that we have already die cut, I'm going to stamp on the white part of the base. I just wanted to point out really quickly that when we designed our snow globe die, we made the base the same size as the dome dies. So you can see that with this one die, you can make your shakers or designs for the snow globe with both the die that's included with the set and also with the dome dies that you might already have. I'm going to use the sentiment from Holiday Smiles. I love this one saying Holiday Smiles across the miles, and I think it goes so well with this little hedgehog that we're going to be using, and it's just so perfect for the holiday cards. As you can see, this shape is curved and our sentiment is straight, so we are going to shape the sentiment. So I'm going to curve it a little bit, and then I'm going to grab my acrylic block and press on the top of it. And I'm going to ink it with Versamar ink. I'm going to use fine embossing powder, and this one is somewhere in between gold and silver. I'm going to make sure that my heat gun is hot before I put it onto the paper, and then we'll see the magic happening. So just gives a little bit of the nice shine there, and we can put all of the base pieces together. I'm going to just use a piece of the double-sided tape to hold the centerpiece in place. And now we can glue the other layers on. And now we can glue it onto the bottom of our domes here. My layer is still not attached. I'm just positioning it where it's gonna be. So just so pretty, just looking so good already. Now this is where my hedgehog is going to go on in the center right here, kind of standing on the base, and then I'm going to have the trees behind it. So I'm going to position everything first and see where everything goes before I attach them to the blue layer. I think I'm going to go ahead and attach my hedgehog onto this layer now, because it's easier for me without him moving to see where all of the other elements are going to go. So I'm going to, his little feet are going to be standing on the base, but there is the layers there, so I'm going to put foam tape behind him. He's so cute. He's just so cute. I think I want a layer of the snow behind, so let me cut a little piece of the white cardstock about 4 inches by 1 inch, and I'll use one of our newer dies. This one is called Snowbank, so I'm gonna use, I think I'm gonna use this one here, and cut on this layer. And it cuts, it has stitching on both sides. So I can use either or. I think I'm gonna use this skinnier piece right here. You have just another little layer. So now when I have everything positioned in the places I want it to be, I can lift this part and glue everything down. I'm going to go ahead and mark for myself because we won't be able to see it. You can use a pencil just where this layer goes. I'm going to give it a few minutes to dry so there's no adhesive there, because no liquid glue anywhere left, because we are going to put our shaker pieces and we don't want anything to get stuck to it while I'm waiting. We already have foam here, but we are going to add a little bit of the foam on this part. Now for the fun part, I'm going to use sequins from Picket Fan Studio, and this mix here is called Frozen Nutcracker. I'm going to put some of the sequins into the center right here. Maybe a little bit more. And now I'm going to remove the backing from this foam tape that I just added. And then we're going to add liquid glue on the foam, on this part of the foam. Now carefully, I'm going to go ahead and center it on my card. And now this is the most difficult part of all of this. Now I have to resist the urge to shake it because there is liquid glue that we just put in there, and I want to make sure that it dries completely before we start shaking so no pieces get stuck to anything. Now while you were waiting, we can work on the inside of the card. I have two of my layers, gold and white. On my white layer, I'm just going to go quickly and add 1/8 of an inch frame all the way around on my scoring board. We have different pieces that kind of left over from when we were designing the front, so you can do a different way. So first, let me go ahead and glue these two layers together. Now we have this paper that we cut, the designer paper that we cut off from the layer on the front. So you can simply even have a border if you prefer. And then we have all these trees that we have die cut that we only used one color on the front, so you can do that. You can use the part of the hill on the bottom and add the trees to that. You can have some on the back, some on the front. There's like so many different ways you can do this now, just whatever looks good to you. And also we have this part of our snowflake edge, and I think I'm gonna use that because it just carries over the design nicely, I think, from the front. I kind of want it to fit inside of the embossed frame, so I'm gonna cut it down to 5 inches. So this still gives you plenty of room here to write your message, to write the greeting for your card recipient. Now we can go ahead and see what's happening with our shaker right there. Look how fun this is. I just love the interactive element of the shaker. Now let's go ahead and glue this layer on the inside. The other thing you can do, you can glue a few of the sequins onto the top of your shaker, under the top of the acetate, and that just creates another layer of dimension. So I'm gonna pick some different colors. There are some holographic ones, there are some like clear ones and blue ones. I think that's pretty good. So now the only really part is that you have to be really careful with the glue and the acetate here. So don't add too much, just enough for the sequin to get stuck to. I'm also going to add little pearls to the base of the snow globe. There are openings that are created with die cutting, and you can use brads in that space as well. I'm going to use pearls on this card. I hope you liked today's tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment on today's video and on the video from yesterday if you haven't done it yet, for the chance to win one of 3 $50 gift certificates to our online store. This is all from me for today. I'll see you back tomorrow for day 3. Much love. Bye for now.